Hi, welcome back. I'm Patty Feeney. For over 20 years, I have been helping leaders and teams figure out how to make things work better, whether that's in healthcare, process improvement, leadership development, or those dreaded meetings we all love to hate. Today, we are tackling a topic close to my heart and maybe one of my pet peeves, but it's how to plan for and facilitate meetings that actually work. Meetings can be a breeding ground for creativity and connection, or they can feel like you're slowly sinking into a pit of wasted time. The good news is that it all comes down to preparation and knowing your role as a facilitator or leader. Let's dive in. Meetings are like coffee flavors. They come in all kinds, but not are all equally satisfying. As a facilitator or leader, it's your job to figure out what kind you are brewing. Here are the 4 main types. Information sharing. These are your let's make sure we're all on the same page meetings, like project updates or briefings. Keep it tight and structured. No one wants an open-ended update session unless you're handing out snacks. Problem solving or decision making. Decide up front how decisions will be made. Will it be by multi-voting, consensus, or the ever unpopular who speaks the loudest wins? Brainstorming and innovation. These are your creative playground. These are the meetings that are your creative playgrounds. The key here is to let people throw spaghetti at the wall without worrying about the cleanup. Tools like sticky notes, whiteboards, digital brainstorming apps, they can all help keep things moving and visible for the whole team. Relationship building. These might be one-on-ones, team building activities, or those check-ins we pretend are not awkward. The key here is to be genuine and as transparent as you can be. Ditch the superficial, how are you question for something more meaningful. Maybe try, what's one thing going really well for you right now? Knowing the type of meeting you are leading will help you design the structure and the vibe to match. Planning for the meeting. Planning a meeting is like packing for a trip. If you forget the essentials, you will be stranded with no snacks and mismatched socks. Here's what you need to do. Clarify the objective. Why are you meeting? No, really, why? As Patrick Lencioni says in Death by Meeting, aimless meetings are a universal frustration. Start with the end goal. If you cannot articulate it in one sentence, it's not time to send that invite. Set the agenda. Priya Parker in The Art of Gathering reminds us that a great agenda isn't just a list of topics. It's a map for creating meaningful moments. Your agenda should reflect the type of meeting you're leading. Bonus points if you share it in advance. Choose the format. Will you break up into groups? Will you run a round robin discussion? Use tools like polls or breakout rooms. The format should fit the goal. Think of it as choosing the right shoes for the occasion. You wouldn't wear stilettos on a hike. Prepare materials and the environment. Make sure everyone has what is needed ahead of time, whether it's pre-reading materials or being on the right Zoom link. Your job is to remove barriers. And as Priya Parker says, don't underestimate the power of setting the emotional tone through your welcome and the environment. Anticipate challenges. Every meeting has its curveballs, derailments, disengaged participants, or my personal favorite, the hijack. Every meeting has its curveballs, derailment. Every meeting has its curveballs, derailments, disengaged participants, or my personal favorite, the hijacker who thinks it's their meeting. Be ready to redirect gently, but firmly. A line like, great point, let's table that and we'll revisit after we finish this agenda item. That works wonders. Facilitating the meeting. Now that you've planned like a pro, it's showtime. Here's how to lead a meeting that people actually want to attend, or at least don't dread. Start with ground rules or meeting norms. Establish the norms up front. Have the team engage and contribute to those. Even simple rules like one speaker at a time, or stay muted when not speaking, or take side conversations outside of the room. Be an active listener. If you want participants to care, you have to care first. Summarize key points, ask clarifying questions, and acknowledge contributions. Encourage participation. Use techniques like round robins or what some people call popcorn sharing. Or if on video, use something called a chat waterfall to ensure that all voices are heard. And don't be afraid to call on the quieter participants if the moment feels right. Side note, a chat waterfall, it can take the place Side note, just in case you don't know what a chat waterfall is, it can take place in a virtual meeting when you pose a question to the group and ask them not to hit enter on their response until everyone is ready, and then you say go. And then all of the responses come in at once. This allows quieter or more reserved participants to engage and not be intimidated by a response or opt out of responding altogether to avoid a repeat response. Stay on track. You are the conductor of this train. Keep things moving with time markers like we have 10 minutes left or what's our next step, or ask another team member to take on the role of timekeeper for the meeting, and they can align the agenda items with the timing and then notify the group when there is only a few minutes left on a particular topic. Close with action items. Summarize what was decided, assign tasks, and set clear deadlines. If you leave without action steps, you've just hosted a very fancy chat. Books that have my back. If you are ready to up your meeting game even further, check out these resources that I've referenced in this video. Patrick Lencioni's Death by Meeting. It's a leadership classic that offers practical advice for making meetings less painful. Priya Parker's The Art of Gathering, a must-read for anyone who wants to create meaningful interactions, not just a checkbox. Or finally, Kim Scott's Radical Candor, perfect for learning how to foster open, honest communication in meetings and beyond. Meetings don't have to be a slog. With the right planning, mindset, and facilitation skills, they can be a space where teams connect, problems are solved, and creativity thrives. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. If you have your own tips for leading effective meetings, or you have a favorite meeting disaster story, drop it in the comments. And remember, a great meeting starts before anyone even walks into the room or logs on to the Zoom. Now, go choose your favorite coffee blend, and I will see you next time.